Resume our recording. So GoReact is a tool that allows for annotation of video content, of video performances done by your students, whether that's teaching or negotiating or performing fine arts or dance. I know it's used quite heavily in dance. It's used in language instruction. ASL and other second language instruction. It's just used all over the place, and it's a great tool. I'm a little biased towards it because the tool has its origins here at the center, and then was licensed and commercialized by the folks at GoReact. So grateful to see that flourish and stuff. But our guests today are Sam Farley and Dustin Ferguson. And you guys can introduce yourselves a little bit more, what your roles are with GoReact, but I'll leave it there, and I want to give you guys as much time as possible. But welcome, and again, reminder that we'll be together again next week at the same time. We will be off on the 8th, but we have a couple more set up for the following Wednesdays, the 8th and 15th of July. So be looking for those too. Anyway, without further ado, Sam and Dustin.
Thank you so much, Mike. Well, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I don't know how many people on the call have used GoReact before, or this is brand new. So we're definitely going to give you a good overview of how it's used. As Mike mentioned, GoReact's used in multiple disciplines. We see our main pillars, or those that are using us the most, are any type of communications, whether it's business, marketing, public speaking, whatever that may be. We have a lot in teacher education for all their student teaching, observation, or even in their methods courses, a lot in the nursing and healthcare industry, as well as performing arts, and then of course world languages. But really at the core of GoReact is anything that has a performance element in your courses. If you do performance assessment and you need to observe your students demonstrating something to you, and you want to give that meaningful time-stamped embedded feedback using multiple formats, text, video, and audio comments, GoReact's a great tool. And this is licensed by the university, so you have access to this right now and can implement it in your courses. So what we're going to do today, Dustin is the guru of GoReact. He's our customer success manager, and he's going to demonstrate, one, how to integrate this in your Learning Suite courses, and then two, just the general functionality of GoReact and how it can be used in different assignment settings, the different feedback features and annotation features that you have available to you. So this will be a brief overview training of how you can use this in your courses. If anyone after today would like to dive into this a little deeper, wants to set up some additional training, I'm sure Dustin will be able to set up another appointment with you. I'll be here as well. So just to explain the roles, Dustin is our customer success manager, our trainer, like I said, our guru of GoReact. My role, I'm one of the account executives here at GoReact, so I'm in charge of just making sure everyone's happy and making sure that I work with the university to make sure all the licensing works out, and then also doing any demos or introduction to new departments and maybe wanting to see that. So Dustin and I are a team, and we make sure that everyone at Brigham Young is happy and that we're doing everything we can to make it as fully accessible to you and to your students. And so, yes, as Mike mentioned, this was created at Brigham Young by Dr. Bill Baker in communications, and a team with Mike and a few others were able to create this. And so it's just been a great tool. 8-9 years later, we work with over 600 colleges, universities around the world, mainly in the US, but we have a lot of different just exciting use cases where we see this affecting and benefiting students, ultimately improving learning outcomes exponentially. So I'm excited for you that haven't seen it to see it, and those who have seen it, I'm excited for Dustin to show you some of the new features we've added over the last year and new things that may be to come. So without further ado, Dustin, I'm going to turn the time over to you so that you can kind of jump in here.
Yeah, thank you, Sam. like Sam mentioned, we work together as a team, so we're here to support all of you. We're here to support, how you can successfully implement this into your courses, and so that it ultimately helps your students' learning outcomes improve. And so, like Sam said, I'm a customer success manager. Basically, that just means I'm here to help you be successful. So. I see also that I was going to mention this, but Mike just posted in the chat, and I'm sure Sam would be happy to help me in the chat answer questions as I'm presenting here. So yeah, definitely feel free to submit your questions to the chat. Yep, thanks, Sam. So we will be answering those in the chat, and then I'm not going to present the full hour, probably about 20-25 minutes, and then we'll have plenty of time for questions after that as well. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. I am going to show you what GoReact looks like from Learning Suite. So I understand that most of you are going to be using GoReact in this platform, and so I wanted to show you how the integration works, how seamless it is, and then also, like Sam said, a couple overviews of how GoReact can work. So I actually want to start there. I want to show you, because I understand there's a lot of you who haven't seen the tool at all or have never used it. So I want to go ahead and show you here in my other tab, just kind of the basics of what GoReact can do, what kind of feedback tools there are. So at the very core of GoReact is that students submit videos to you, and then you leave feedback for them and grade their videos all in our tool. So this is just a quick example of a student presentation that they might do at home, especially as courses are online or hybrid right now. This is a great tool to use when students are at a distance. So here's an example of a student giving a presentation. This was a foreign language course, and I'm logged in as an instructor. I can go ahead and start leaving this student some feedback. So I'll say, great introduction. You can see that while I'm typing, the video pauses itself. So your typing controls the playback of the video, which is really nice because you can get your full text comment in there. And then when you're ready to submit that comment, you'll just press enter. You can see I'm logged in as Sam here. And that will leave that time-stamped comment there. So you see at 13 seconds, this is the feedback that the instructor left. And all these comments are also hyperlinked. So you can click on any of these and it rolls the video back to 5 seconds before that comment was made. That's especially helpful for students when they're sorting through all of your feedback. If they want to see, okay, what exactly was I doing at that moment? It helps them contextualize and see the relevant feedback and see themselves all at the same time, which is how we improve. And so that's one way to leave feedback, but there's a lot more. So you can also leave video feedback. So if I wanted to just record a quick video, I could say, actually, I'm gonna ask you to present that information differently. Why don't you try doing it like this? And then it's a really easy way to model that for your student just through video. Or sometimes it's just more personal to leave a video comment than it would be to a text comment. You can also leave audio, and then you can see there's a few other examples here of feedback. And then we also have an end note, which is a place where you can type up a summary of the student's presentation there. I'm sure you saw these colorful little boxes. These are what we call markers. So these are like preloaded comments or any kind of information or tags that you might want to use to annotate that video. So this just is basically just a really easy way to annotate and mark up the video at specific moments. So there's lots of different ways to use these. These are totally customizable to you. So we don't give you markers to use. You actually generate these on your own, so that allows you to customize to fit your course and your needs and your discipline. So like for these would be a good example for like a communication or public speaking course where you might create some markers of eye contact where, hey, I need eye contact right there, or that was great eye contact, or refer to the rubric at this moment. If filler word is a great one. If I was to start using filler words, I could tag up the moment, every moment where that student used the filler word, just so they can see, you know, those moments and what maybe led to that. So lots of different ways you can use these. With teacher education, we see these aligned with maybe their rubric or standards that they're trying to observe. With you know, foreign language or world languages, we see maybe pronunciation, different things like that, grammar. Or, you know, with nursing, this markers would be a great one for, you know, those skills checkoffs. You can create a marker for every skill. So lots of different ways to use that. But that's just kind of the basics of GoReact. There's a lot more it can do. I just kind of wanted to show you a quick overview for those who haven't had a chance to use it yet. You can also embed a rubric here. I don't have one on this specific assignment, but we'll look at that here in a second. So here, that's an example of a student submitted assignment. So that is going to be what we call our standard assignment type. There's a couple others too, and we're not going to have time to look at all of them today. But I want to show you one more quick overview. And this is if you are already using GoReact or you've used it in the past, then you may not know about this feature. It was released about a year ago, or maybe less than a year. So it's still fairly new, but this is our multiple cameras feature. So this is where you can have live synchronous sessions inside of the assignment. So here's some of my colleagues here, and you can see Sam there as well, that this is group recording sessions, basically, similar to like mini Zoom sessions, actually. So students can do this within the assignment. You could meet with your students in the assignment. So this is all live and synchronous. But then after it's recorded and captured in the assignment, then it can be, you know, annotated. You can leave feedback using all the tools that I've already shown you, just like you would a normal video. And then here's an example of a rubric. So you can fill out a rubric for any assignment. I just wanted to show you what that looked like here on this multiple cameras assignment. So some of the ways that we've seen this used, and some really great you know, ways that other institutions and instructors are using this is one, to replace you know, like a discussion board. So instead of having students type up their discussion to a certain prompt or question, just have them meet together and do it live, and that may kind of creates more engagement and peer interaction. Another way that we've seen this is you know, like peer teachings. So you have students meet in groups of 4. And I will mention, that reminds me that the limit on this is 9 participants per group. So you have multiple sessions, but 9 is the limit on each one of those. But you could have students meet together and teach a certain concept to each other. So you have them practice, you know, peer teaching, peer discussion. If you just want to say, hey, I want you guys to discuss chapter 2 that we just went over in the lecture, students could meet together, and then you could go in, review their discussion, and kind of give them feedback on their group interaction there as well. So lots of different ways to use that as well. But that's our multiple cameras feature. So I want to go back into Learning Suite. So that was just kind of 2 quick overviews of different things you can do with GoReact. Now let's jump back into Learning Suite, and we'll look at how to set this up. So if you were in your Learning Suite course, you would just click New Assignment, just like you normally would, but you're going to change the type of assignment to a learning module. And we'll call this GoReact Speech. You can type in your description to your preference and select your category, whatever that might be in your course. And then we'll set the due date for Saturday. So that's one piece of the equation. The second one is here, clicking Learning Module. And under where it says configuration type, you do want to change that to a global configuration. And then under global module, you'll find GoReact from your list of tools there, and it'll automatically put in our LTI link there. So from there, you'll just click Save, and that saves your assignment there under your course. So now this step here is a little bit tricky, just because it maybe is not the most logical step. But you do in Learning Suite, you have to click on Go to Student View to finish setting up that assignment. I'm not sure why it works that way, but just a little trick, click Student View and then click GoReact Speech, and that will allow you to launch that learning module. At this point, you're still in your instructor account, but just to access this part, you did have to go into Student View, and then you can actually finish setting up with GoReact assignment settings. So standard assignment is where you can you set it up for students to submit a video to you, and then you leave feedback for them. So that's kind of what we looked at in those first couple overview assignments. A stimulus assignment, this is great for ASL, foreign language, where you want students to interpret or translate a certain prompt or media that you provide for them. So if you wanted to give them, say, a TED Talk video, they could watch the TED Talk, and like in ASL, they could interpret it with their own signing, or in foreign language, they could translate that. So it's similar to like a call and response type of assignment. So you give them a prompt, they watch your prompt, and they respond with their own video recording. With comment only, so this is going to be kind of like student video analysis. So where you provide a video for your students, they watch that video, and they annotate that video with their own comments and feedback. So it's similar to a standard, but the roles are reversed. So instead of you being the one to leave feedback on the student video, the students are the ones leaving feedback on your video. So that's a helpful one too, especially for like teacher education. If you want to provide them an exemplar for them to annotate, you could do that, or lots of different ways you could use that. So I'm going to look at just a standard assignment for today, because there's lots of different customizations and different features that you can utilize in a standard assignment. So if we click next here, your next option under recording and feedback privacy is going to be, do you want students to be able to access each other's videos and leave feedback for each other? So you can set this up with peer review. So closed peer review allows students to see each other's videos, leave feedback for each other, but they won't be able to see each other's comments on a video. But with open peer review, they can see each other's videos, leave feedback for each other, and they'll also be able to see any feedback that had already been left on that video. So more of an open forum discussion type of assignment where students can comment to each other and see each other's comments on their peers' videos. So you can leave it private, and that just restricts students from seeing each other's videos altogether. Under grading and evaluation, you can leave it ungraded if you just want kind of an introductory assignment that's not graded. Maybe you just want to leave a couple comments. That's a good way to do that. You can also assign points, so you're just assigning a total score for their video. Or here's where you would embed that rubric. So it will open up a library. So anytime you create a rubric, it's going to be stored in your library. You can also share rubrics as well. So this might be a good one for you guys. If you are teaching the same course as someone else, and one of you creates the rubric, they can share that out to the shared BYU tab here. And then you'd be able to find those shared rubrics and utilize those in your own course. But to create that rubric, you would just click New Rubric there. You can title this rubric here. And then you can just click and drag out your categories and your evaluators, just like you would in your paper rubric or wherever you have that stored. You can kind of just match your existing rubric. If it's a numeric scale, you can pull that out and say, this is delivery. Oops, if I can spell delivery. And then you have, by default, 5 grading categories. Or you can take some away if you're only on a 4-point scale. You also have a qualitative scale. So if you don't want points to be attached to it, you can actually pull out this qualitative scale. You can add points to each category optionally, but you can also just customize these word descriptors. So let's say this one was not satisfactory on your existing rubric, you can customize those and change those up to fit your needs. And we'll say that's content. You can see there's lots of different ways to customize this. So I just wanted to show you a couple quick examples so as we not to take up too much time. And then, so we saw a multiple cameras assignment where you have the group recording sessions that you would set that up with checking this box here for multiple cameras. If you leave that unchecked, then it's just a single recording from a single student. And they can do group recordings and things like that, or group presentations. But for the most part, without multiple cameras checked, it's just one student submitting their video and then you leaving feedback for them. And then you also have to allow live review. So this would actually allow you to watch a student's recording live and leave feedback for them in real time. So you could set that up. You would obviously have to coordinate times where your student is recording. You know what time they're recording. You log in and watch their live recording. So students can, if you have it set up as a peer review assignment, other students can also log into that and watch that live recording as well. And then you also can limit the students to one recording for the assignment. So it creates like a test environment. If you want their first recording attempt to be their only one, so that it's just that one single run through, you could create that with a single recording attempt. You can also set up a time limit on how long you want each video to be. And then you can also attach presenter slides here. So we have two different ways really to share slides or share presentations. So one way is here with presenter slides. So students can actually take the file of their slideshow, attach it with their video, and then time their slides to transition as you're watching their video. So you would see a split screen view. So you would see their video and their slides all in one screen. And then you're still able to leave feedback and comment and grade. That's one way. The newest way, which was just released maybe a couple months ago, is our screen capture. So I'll show you what this looks like here in a second. I'll show you an example of recording and sharing your screen. But you can actually, just like I'm doing with Zoom right now, students can record themselves and share their screen. So this opens up a ton of possibilities. We talked about some of our more common use cases like speech, communication, business, teachers, nursing, those kinds of things, which you're demonstrating a skill through video. But this would also be a really good way to do web design or graphic design or engineering or math, where you're actually able to share your screen while talking over your presentation, and then actually demonstrating what you're doing on the computer or on whatever program you're using on the computer. So a really cool new feature that we're really excited about. So like I said, I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. But your next option here is marker sets. So this is those colored boxes that we looked at in the overview. This is where you would create those. This part's really easy. You just click new marker set there. And then you're able to add your marker set title. And then you just add each marker just like whatever you would like them to be. So we used the example of eye contact. We'll do another one for body language, and so on and so forth. So that's how you create those marker sets. You also have a place for a student rubric. So a student rubric is going to allow your students to fill out the rubric either for themselves, so doing some self-evaluation, or if it's set up as a peer review assignment, they'd be able to do that for their peers. So you could use the same rubric you're using for the instructor rubric, but you would just want to reattach that there, and that would allow the students to fill it out. You can add assignment resources, documents, files, videos, anything they might need for instructional material there under instructor attachment. You have your recording instructions. So whatever you type here is going to pop up right before the student starts to record their video. So whatever kind of recording instructions you have, you'll want to put those there. And then similar idea here, but with feedback instructions. If I was a student in your course and I clicked on my video and it opened it up for me to do some self-evaluation, those feedback instructions would pop up at that moment. So if if you wanted to give them parameters of leave at least 10 comments on your own video here or a peer's video, you'd put those instructions there. All right, so that covers all of the assignment settings. I'm going to go ahead and click done here. And this is the kind of the final product of setting up your assignment. So you're done at this point. You're ready for students to start submitting. This is, I'm still in my instructor view, but this is a very similar view, almost identical to what the students are going to see. So I wanted to show you really quickly. I'm just going to record a quick video. I'll show you screen sharing and things like that. So when they click start assignment, it's going to give them an option to title their video. Their name will automatically be there under presenters. I'll just put mine there as Sam. And then they can either upload or record. So recording directly in the assignment is going to be the most streamlined process to get a video into GoReact. So they're using whatever device they're on, they're using whatever camera is connected to that device. So if they're on their phone, it's going to use their phone's camera, their laptop webcam, or if they have an external webcam, they can just log in to your assignment, click start assignment, and start recording. So this is a really easy way to get video into GoReact. Here's where our screen sharing feature is. So it looks very similar to Zoom. You click screen capture here. You can share your entire screen. You can share a specific window or a whole other tab there. But that's how you would do that. You can turn off your camera and your microphone just like you can in Zoom as well. So when they're done, then just click finish. It's going to allow them to preview that recording first. So they can watch it over, make sure they like it, they're ready to post it. They'll just click post. And it's automatically there in the assignment. So that's really easy. You can see how easy that is. Now, let's say that your student had recorded that video just on their phone's camera. Now they have that video stored on their phone, but they need to upload that into GoReact. So they can do that really easily here with upload. So they'll just choose that file wherever they have it stored on their device. Let's see, we'll find a good one here. Public speaking, open, and then start. Now, you might have seen the messaging that says we do have a 2 GB file size limit. So that limit is only on each video. So each video, there's a 2 GB limit. There's no limit on how many videos they can submit to each assignment. But 2 GB is about 90 minutes of recording time. So pretty large video, and I would be surprised if you guys wanted to grade 90-minute videos for all of your students, but that is recorded in standard definition. So one thing I always like to remind you of is that file size, video file sizes are bigger the higher resolution you record at. So if a student is recording at 4K on their phone, they're obviously going to get a really high quality video, but it also creates that bigger file size. So the recording time might not be quite that 90 minutes. So something definitely to keep in mind. If a student is running into that 2 GB file size limit, most likely it's because they recorded in a really high definition, like 4K or sometimes even 1080. So we do always recommend that you encourage your students to record in standard definition. It's a really easy setting on a phone. That if that's what students mostly, I keep referring to the phone, but that's what students mostly use to record. So it's a really easy setting that they can change to adjust their resolution. Now, if they're recording directly in the assignment, like I did with this first video, they don't have to worry about that because our recording software is automatically compressing that video to standard definition. So no file sizes are an issue on those. So that's how you upload or record. Once that video is uploaded there, you just open it up and we're back to our feedback screen. So at this point you can start leaving feedback, filling out the rubric, and using all those tools available. I did see a question just kind of out of the corner of my eye about downloading the video. While I'm here, I'll just point that out really quickly in the top right-hand corner. If the Zoom videos aren't blocking it, that's where you would download that video. Just click that and it stores that locally on your device. So that's how you set up a standard assignment. At that point, you know, your students can start submitting and you can start leaving feedback and grading those videos. I did want to show you this, this feature. This is our feedback hold button. So basically all this does is it determines what students can see when they open up a video. So when this is by default checked on, that means that students can immediately see your feedback and your grading the moment that you're done with it. So it's immediately visible. Now, if you don't want that to be immediately visible, you can just check that off, and then it hides all that feedback and the grades from your students until you're ready for them to see it. And then you'll click that back on, because maybe you want to get through grading all of your videos first and then release all the video or all the feedback at one time. That would be an easy way to do that. You can also, here in the top right hand corner, you have these 3 dots here, so you can also go back and edit the assignment at any time. So you can change up your settings. You can, if you wanted to change it to peer review, you could do that at a later time. You could change up your rubric, edit your markers, and things like that. So a few different options you can do there. So why don't I just stop here? I've been talking for about 20 minutes, like I promised, and then we'll just kind of look at questions or open it up for questions. Sam, was there anything I missed in the chat that I needed to demonstrate?
Yeah, no, I think we caught most of everything, and we've been, you know, Mike and I together, we've been kind of fielding the responses and questions. Ultimately, I mean, I think in general, GoReact is not only a annotation and coaching tool, but it does then have that video storage. So you can download the videos. We do store the videos for 5 years though. So as long as you have access to your courses, all those videos will still be there with the annotations. And I should also mention that we are a secure site. So we're FERPA, COPPA, HIPAA compliant. Nothing is accessible outside or publicly, and even embedded within Learning Suite. That adds some additional security that it's only going to be within the Learning Suite system as well. And while students can download their videos, they can't download other students' videos, and they can't download videos that you were to post. But you as the instructor have full control of the course, so you can download the videos if needed. There was a question around being able to post anonymous feedback, and there isn't a way right now that we have that people can post anonymous. All the feedback is always going to be stamped with the reviewer's name to that comment, so you know who left it. Although as an instructor, when it gets to peer review, you can do, there's 2 levels of peer review, the closed peer review and open peer review. Closed peer review allows peers to see each other's videos and give each other feedback, but peers can't see each other's comments. So in some ways, it does make it a little anonymous in that they don't see what anyone else is commenting, they only see their comments. But you and the student will always see all the comments on the video. It's just what peers have access to. And then the open peer review is all comments are public, and you have those group discussions. So just wanted to hit on some of those. And there's a question that was just posted about doing a lecture. The students respond and ask questions, and then what would be the best way for me to answer the student questions afterwards. So Dustin, if you want to open up one of the videos, one of the things that you'll notice with the videos that while you're annotating, so if Dustin were to type in a quick text response here, and let's say this is a question or something, notice on the right side of that, there's a reply button. So you can actually click reply, and you can reply back to that in text, video, and audio as well. So you can have those asynchronous conversations digging in deeper to that original timestamped response. So there are ways to have that back and forth coaching if needed, which is one of the features that I really enjoy, that I can coach students and have them show back to me what I've just coached them on. They don't have to submit a whole new video. We can actually capture that in that comment section and have that dialogue as needed. So great question there. Any other questions or generally thoughts? And you can type it in the text box, or if you feel brave enough, you can jump on the microphone and ask it out in public. Well, I think that means
so
silence. Oh, there we go.
I actually do have a question about that. So let's say that they that the students post a question on a lecture, and then I reply by hitting that reply button. will the students have to go back into the lecture to find my reply? And so how do I mean, how would we set it up so that we were sure that they would go back and see the answers that I put in? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it definitely makes sense. Yeah, and they would have to go back in to hit the reply because all the replies are going to be embedded in the video. Right now, one of the things that our development team is working on is creating a customized notification system that that we can get notified when comments are left. What we're trying to avoid is that you are getting notified for every single ping, because we don't want it to be overwhelming. More of that you can choose what you want to be notified about. So right now it is embedded in there, but you would either have to go back in to look to see if the response is there. There is a visual, Dustin, if you click back on the video there is a visual to see on the right side of the video any of the comments that have been left on that video, so you can see what engagement has been done there. But normally what I do with my classes is I have my students email me that, just a quick note, kind of give me that notification, hey, I responded to your comment, it's in there, or vice versa. But it's all going to be embedded within the video. I would always stay there.
Can I chime in for a second, Sam?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's the way. If you after your students viewed the video in GoReact and put their questions, and you go through and answer them, either text, audio, or video responses to those questions, then just sending out an email to your students to go back into the GoReact assignment and view the answers to their questions would be one great way to do it. Or two, you just collect the questions and then record a video outside of GoReact, or a new GoReact assignment where you respond to those questions. So.
Great question. And actually notifications is one of I think it's the number one requested area right now we're working on our development team. Mike can attest, from where GoReact started to where it is now, we've made a lot of additions and improvements, and we continue to make those improvements. So there will be more things to come, and where GoReact is today, it's only gonna keep getting better. So I'm excited to see, even by next year, what we have. In this last year, we've added the group recording feature and the screen capture capabilities. So last year at this time, those weren't available. So we're excited to see the continuing development of what we can do for the coaching and annotation for students.
Yep, that's great.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? I know there was a request. I'm going to put it here in the text box just for mine and Dustin's contact information. If you did have any additional questions, if your department wanted to have a more customized training based on your field and discipline, we can always arrange that. Dustin just posted his in there, and I'm going to do mine. Luckily at GoReact, for most of us, our email addresses are easy. It's our first name at goreact.com. So you have Dustin at goreact.com and Sam at goreact.com. One last thing that I'm going to add in here is that while we went through a number of how to and what to do with GoReact, we also have a lot of online tutorials and resources that are available to you 24/7 through our website. So if you were to go to, and I'll share my screen here real quick. If you were to go to goreact.com and I type in here, goreact.com. Oh, I gotta type in the right address. This is my lack of great typing skills. In the upper right corner, so this is our home page. There's a lot of resources on here in general, but in the upper right corner, if you click on the help button, it'll take you to a screen that says, okay, well, are you an instructor or are you a student? This is a great resource page to also just show your students tutorials for them. There's videos and tutorials for how to record a video, how to do a group recording, how to share your screen, all those resources there for students, but it's also there for instructors. So when you click on the instructor tab, you'll notice we do have some resources based on the LMS. We don't have a Learning Suite LMS because guess what? You're the only college that has Learning Suite. No one else has that. So we don't have anything customized yet for Learning Suite, although we'll try and work on some things. I think Mike is also may have some resources. And for Learning Suite support, Mike is your best friend because he's your on-campus support there for Learning Suite. But if you click on the GoReact icon, here's all those tutorials. So everything that Dustin just did today with how to create an assignment. In general, after it's embedded, you're still going to go through that and follow that same process. Creating what assignment type, standard, comment only, stimulus. There is a video here as well to do that, but all of these tutorials will walk you through those steps that Dustin did today of how do I create that assignment? How do I create markers? How am I going to annotate a video? How can I do text feedback or video feedback? So there's a lot of online resources here, and there's a video library for students and for instructors. But also notice here, this contact support tab. We have a customer success team, but also a customer support team that's there for more of those technical issues. We don't want you to have to be tech support for your students. So if for whatever reason, students can't upload a video, or they click record and their camera isn't being recognized by the system and they don't know how to solve that, they can contact our support team for that support and help. And normally it's they need to click allow when the computer's asking permission to use your camera. But in any case, they have all those resources available through our website. Just go to GoReact.com. And when you're using it in GoReact in Learning Suite, the only time you would ever have to go to GoReact.com is for these support and resources. Other than that, you'll always have students access everything through their course and through the assignments in Learning Suite. There's never any reason to go outside. Another question that was raised in the chat was about, software, downloading, anything like that. GoReact's a cloud-based system. There's nothing that you or students have to download or install. It's all cloud-based, and you can use it on any browser platform you want to, Chrome, Safari, Firefox, whatever that may be. And then with the recording devices, I mentioned this at the very beginning in the chat, you can use any web-enabled camera. So a cell phone, a tablet, a webcam, a laptop, whatever students want to use to capture, or they can record externally and upload that to GoReact. So it should make it very simple for students to record whatever they need to demonstrate and then post that into the assignment, making it then simple for you to go and give that annotation and feedback.
And if you forget everything that Sam just said, you can also email just goreact@byu.edu. That email comes to me and I can either give you quick help or send you to the appropriate sources there to help you out. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mike, you know better than I do. Did we capture everything?
I think you got enough to get everybody going and excited, I hope.
Perfect. Well, and I would encourage you, while we don't necessarily want you to uproot your whole curriculum and change everything, if you have one assignment you want to try GoReact with, since you have access to it, I would encourage you to try it and see how valuable it is for your courses, for your students, and that might then help you to see other areas you can use that as well. And yes, you do have access to GoReact through Learning Suite. The university has a license, so everyone has access to use it for any of your courses, for one assignment or for 200 assignments. Hopefully you don't have 200 assignments. But yes, please use it as needed. And then if you have colleagues that weren't able to make it today, I know Mike has recorded this, so I think there was a question about this being posted somewhere. So yes. Mike can address that.
The video recording of this will be available, I hope, before the end of the day on the teachanywhere.byu.edu website. I'll put the link to where that will be as soon as I can get that link. So I'll let you go to the next question, and I'll get the link and post it in the chat.
Perfect. And just to clarify, there was a question about how to log in. If you're using Learning Suite, you don't need to go to GoReact.com to log in. You're going to do that, add it to your Learning Suite through that integration process that Dustin went through. And if you need more help with that, contact Mike and he'll be able to help you with that. If for whatever reason you're not using Learning Suite and you need to use it externally through GoReact.com, then you would just go to the sign up page and create it, and just make sure you're choosing Brigham Young University as your organization, because that's where the license is applied to. So you can set up an account externally. Just make sure you tie to GoReact or to Brigham Young University. If for whatever reason you ever hit a paywall that is asking for payment from students, stop and contact me or Dustin. That just means somehow your account is linked to the wrong organization, and we'll get that clarified for you. But yes, everyone has access. You can also use GoReact in Canvas, Blackboard, any of those other LMS systems. I know, Mike said about 80 and 90% people use Learning Suite. Some departments are using Canvas or an integration of Canvas. So you can use it through Canvas, and those links on how to use the Canvas integration are on our website as well. So most of those resources are available. All right. Any other, and yes, clarification, we can use GoReact in Canvas.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions? Go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say that does have to be with the BYU version of Canvas. If you're using canvas.instructure.com, all bets are off. You can use it, but then you'll make your students pay for it, and that's not desirable.
Definitely. Yeah, the license is tied to Brigham Young University, so we got to make sure we're using those accounts for the access. So, all right. Well, I just want to thank everyone for the opportunity. My son, who just came home from his mission a little early, but still around the same amount of time, is going to be attending BYU. He actually has been doing online courses, but he'll be attending BYU. My wife, who is an alumni of BYU, is so proud that her oldest child is going to be on campus and will be moving into his dorm in August. So thank you for all of you for what you do, because you now get to teach my children, because I'm tired of teaching them. So it's all up to you now. So no, I want to thank everyone for your work. Please reach out to us. We are locally based. We're based in Orem. So we're behind the post office on Center Street. So if you ever need anything, please reach out and we can always help, whether it's through Zoom, maybe in person again someday, whatever that may be. But we thank you for your time, and please have fun using GoReact.
All right. Thank you very much, Sam and Dustin. Appreciate your time, and thank you to all of you who came, and those of you that stuck with us to the bitter end. That's great. Anyway, reminder: next week we have another webinar at 11 o'clock on Wednesday. If you've registered for this, you're registered for that, and please feel free to join us. And look for the video of this on the Teach Anywhere site, hopefully by the end of the day.
Perfect.